Welcome back, Testimonial fans. On this episode, we are going to change the wheels on our 2026 Tesla Model Y Juniper Premium All-Wheel Drive. Currently, I have the Tesla Winter Tire Package, which are the 19-inch Crossflow wheels with the Pirelli Soto snow tires. What we purchased our Tesla with was the 20-inch Helix 2.0 all-season wheels and tires. So this is what I'm going to be putting back on the car. This is what I'll be removing. It's spring right now. Usually the threshold for snow tires is around 44 degrees. They are a softer compound tire, so if you run them in summer, they wear much quicker. We're in spring here, it's hitting into the 50s, so it is time to remove these things. To do this task, I have a torque wrench for putting the wheel back on. The OEM torque spec from Tesla in the user manual is 129 foot-pounds. So I have my torque wrench. I have my breaker bar with my 21 millimeter socket. So this will be used to take off the wheel. For the first wheel, I will do it with this method. But when I do the future wheels, I am a car guy. I have lots of car tools. I will be using my impact driver to do the rest of them. And I have my wheels that I'm ready to go with. And then last but not least, I have my lifting pucks. I could not find any that were sold by Tesla, so I bought these off of Amazon. I can leave a link in the description. But these are to make sure that you can lift the car safely without damaging the battery on the bottom. I will show you where to place these pucks, but when you look under the car, it actually is quite evident. The last thing I'm going to use will be my car jack, and I will put it on the lifting pucks to actually lift the car off the ground. Tesla does not come from the factory with a spare tire or a spare tire kit, so you do not get wrenches, you do not get jacks, scissor jacks like you get with a lot of other cars. So you'll have to buy those and provide those on your own. Let's get started. Now that we're all ready to go, first thing to do is to remove the hubcaps on our 19-inch Crossflow wheels. I don't have any special tools for this. You got to use your fingers and a lot of grip strength. Now, if I were you, and if you don't have Milla Gorilla hands, you might be best off with like a plastic spatula. They have some really handy tools online you can get for like 20 bucks, and they're like plastic pry bars. And if you had a plastic pry bar, that'll prevent you from scratching things, and I actually think that would help out a lot. I had some, I don't know where they are, so I'm going to use my hands. There are clips all the way around each one of these spokes. So we are going to put our fingers right in here and lift up, and that is going to get these spring-loaded clips off of one side, and then it popped out like that. It looked easy, but it actually takes a fair amount of grip strength. And doing my second one, this is much quicker than when I did the first one. So I have all 5 disconnected. Now there is a center spring clip in the middle here, and I don't love any method. Again, if you had those plastic pry bars, I'd probably stick them in right here and kind of pry off, but I don't have that. So I'm going to stick my fingers in 2 of these spokes, and I'm going to get them up as close as I can to this center cap here, and then I'm just going to pull back and it pops off. And there we have it. So now the hubcap is off. If I flip it around to the back, here you can see all of these different clips that are snapping it in around the wheel, and then this center spring clip here that hooks it into the center hub. Now we're moving on to my little handheld cell phone video here, because we're gonna go under the car, and most cameras, I even have to take my hat off to do this. Underneath the car here, as we come along, you're gonna see this hole here, and that hole is where the lifting puck goes. You can see there's no other space underneath here, and if you go underneath the car, that is the bottom of your battery. You do not want to jack from there. So this is the Tesla sanctioned lifting puck hole. So now I'm going to take this lifting puck here, and you're going to see that it has this little O-ring. This just kind of keeps it snug up there, and then your actual protrusion goes in the hole. So here we go. Let's put this guy in there and push up, and boom. That's it. That O-ring keeps it up there. You put your jack on here and you lift from here. All right, I'm gonna wheel the jack underneath it here. We have it lined up. I got the jack locked, and now I'm gonna start lifting it up to get it right centered on the lifting puck, and it should be good to apply a little bit of pressure. And now we're in position. Okay, you saw in the handheld cam, we got the jack in place. One thing I'd like to note, EVs are extremely heavy cars. They're like trucks. So this 2026 Tesla Model Y all-wheel drive premium is 5,500 pounds. That's an extremely heavy car. So you need to pick your jack accordingly. Now you're lifting up only 1/4 of that wheel, 1/4 of that car to get to that one wheel at a time. So that's about 1,400 pounds-ish, you know, ballpark 1,350. So you want to make sure that when you're picking a jack that it has the sufficient lift rating to get to that. So put a safety factor to it. Make sure you don't lift up a corner with less than 1 ton, a 1-ton lifting jack. So here I have my Pittsburgh, I forgot what the rating is, 2-ton, Pittsburgh 2-ton low profile jack that I use on my race car, and that will easily lift up this corner. So I already have the puck in position. I already have a little bit of tension on it. I'm gonna give it 1 pump here just to give a little bit more tension onto it, take a little bit of a load off the car. And now, if I was using my impact gun, which you'll see, I'd lift the car all the way off the ground and just boop, 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 take all the tires off, because you don't need to loosen the lug nuts with an impact gun before it's off the ground. When you're using a wrench, you do. We're gonna get in here and we're gonna put this thing on, and I'm gonna apply a little bit of body weight and we're gonna loosen it up. I'll go to the next one. You don't need to loosen it in any fancy order because you're just loosening it. You wanna tighten it in a specific order and a star pattern, but for loosening it, it doesn't matter. All 5 are loose. Now I'm gonna jack her off the ground. So I come in here, okay, there we go. I have 1 wheel off the ground. My hand fits underneath it. You don't have to go super high for any reason. Then you just go in here and you remove each lug nut at a time. They are longer than I expected. I'm used to my impact gun. Put that lug nut over there. We're just gonna go through each one of them. Again, using our 21mm socket that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. We have all 5 lug nuts off. I have my foot at the bottom just to prevent the wheel from tilting. Now, the wheel from America, our design cars actually have wheel studs, so the wheel shouldn't just fall off. There's also your hub on the middle of your rotor in the middle. That's all fine. Now, I'm gonna just grab the wheel and slide it off, and then I can pull it over and wheel it out of the way and play it on its back, and that wheel is off. Now, European cars don't have these studs. European cars use bolts instead of nuts. So those type of cars can, you know, when you take the wheels off, if you don't use the alignment dowel, they can just fall off. But this guy's off, this guy's done. Now we're ready to put our new one on here. Looking at this design, you got your hub ring in the middle, you got studs, your wheel studs, and then this little screw here helps you align your wheels. Now, when it comes to these wheels, we have 4 wheels on our car. There's something called staggered versus squared wheel setup. So the rear wheel drive Tesla, the all wheel drive Tesla, the standard, the premium, they all run a squared setup. So what that means is the front wheels and the back wheels are exactly the same. So the order in which you put your wheels on are irrelevant. Now, some tires are directional. Now, if you are using the factory wheels, Pirelli Sotos, I do not see any direction on them, so I do not believe they are directional. And on these Hankook Ions, again, they do not look directional. So a directional tire will have an arrow pointing the direction that the wheel should be going in forward, and you have to make sure that you're putting it then on the correct side of the car. This is not directional, so it doesn't matter. Also, it's not staggered. So staggered, some wheels run like a 9-inch wide wheel in the front and a 10-inch in the back. The Model Y Performance does have staggered wheels. So if you have a Model Y Performance, you have to make sure your front wheels go on the front and your back wheels go on the back. You will have to look on the inside and read what the wheel size is to know which is which. But if you have a standard or a premium or all-wheel or rear wheel, they're all squared, so it doesn't matter which wheel goes on where. I will bring this guy back, and I am going to sit down because it helps me use my legs to roll it up and lift it. and then slide it on to the wheel nuts. So once I get it on there, I usually put my foot at the bottom like this, and that just kind of holds it in place. And then I just start to finger on the nuts just to get them started. I like to get all of them started. Use my breaker bar with my socket. I know my daughter's playing on the jack. Now, that you could be afraid, could the jack fall because the child's playing with it? On these Pittsburgh jacks, this scroll wheel at the top is what raises and lowers the car, and or not raises, it lowers the car. It actually takes a lot of force to turn it, so my 2-year-old doesn't have the strength to turn it. So I'm not concerned. Now I'm gonna screw this in, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So it is gonna go, I'm on the passenger rear, so it's gonna go to the front of the car. And as I screw this in, I just gotta let the wheel rotate a little bit just to make sure the nuts are conical. So you wanna make sure it nests in there like it should. Now, when you took them off, it didn't matter which order you went in. Now that I'm putting it on, it does. It doesn't matter which one you start with, but you need to go in a star pattern. So I did this one first. Now I'm gonna go across the way. So I'm gonna go to the bottom corner here. Now, I have them all started. So now I'm gonna continue that star pattern, and I'm just going to keep it at a 90 now and just give it a little snug pull, little snug pull, little snug pull, little snug pull, and then a little snug pull. Now, I cannot fully torque this wheel right now because it's in the air. In the air, when you're torquing it, you have the chance of the wheel rotating. That's on a normal gas car. I don't know if there's weird rules with electric cars on in park if they keep their wheels locked. I don't know, but I am now going in a circle just to do one last check, and then I'm gonna set it just gently on the ground, and then I'm gonna finish my torque. So they're all nice and firm. Arya, can you look out, please, sweetie? Please move. I'm gonna loosen this nut up, but I don't wanna put the car all the way down. I just want it to touch like that. So now the wheel is touching the ground. I cannot put my hand underneath it. I will go from my breaker bar to my torque wrench. And again, the factory spec, you can look up in your manual, is 129 foot-pounds. I'm using a Craftsman torque wrench. I have it on righty-tighty. And then I'm gonna go here, get it up and push down. And I will push down until it clicks, and that's how you know you're at your setting. There you go. You heard that click. That lets you know that one's done. I go across, continuing my star pattern, and I will push down. And cross again. 129 foot-pounds is quite a lot of foot-pounds. So even with this long of a pipe, it takes a little bit of force. Now, even though I've done all 5, I always like to do one last check where I go around the diamond in a circular pattern to make sure I didn't miss any. So I just line it up, click, I heard it, top one, click, next one, click, next one, click, last one, click. Just a double check, little peace of mind. That way, you know they're all done. At this point, I can lower the jack and put the car all the way on the ground. The car is down. I can reach under here and pull the puck off. So the puck is done. And last but not least, I have our little center cap for these wheels. And you just line it up with the middle and it just presses on. And you're done. This wheel is done. The jack is out. The wheel is changed. Let's go do the other 3 wheels. Now that all 4 wheels are on, torqued down, hubcaps are back on, we're technically done, but there's 2 last things to do. Because these wheels have sat over winter, they can lose a little bit of tire pressure with the fluctuating in temperatures. So I'm gonna unscrew our tire pressure cap, our tire cap, and I have my own little portable pneumatic inflator. You can use any type of air compressor, hand tool, whatever you wanna use. There's hundreds, thousands of tools out there. So right now, the recommended tire pressure from Tesla for this is the, again, 20-inch Helix wheels with the factory Hankook Ion Evo AS 255/40/20 tire. It has a max pressure of 50, but recommended from Tesla is 42 PSI. This tire only lost 2 PSI over winter because right now my gauge here is telling me it's at 40. I'm gonna press on and it'll turn itself off when it hits 42. Now that we've already changed our tires and rims from the winter to the summer, our graphics is wrong. So I'm gonna hit our controls button, go down to service. You can see the recommended tire pressure, 42 front and rear. I'm gonna go to wheels and tires, and it has our wheels set to the 19-inch Crossflows. We have the 20-inch Helix 2.0, so I'm gonna click on that. And then we're gonna go to our tires, and we're no longer on our winter, so we are on our all seasons or summer. And service type, we're gonna do a seasonal tire swap, and brake pedal, press brake pedal with key present, and then I'm gonna hit reset. And now, boom, it has updated complete. So when I go back here, it did not change our wheels. Let's try that again. Service, wheels and tires, 20-inch, not dark, 20-inch 2.0 Helix, update. I forgot to hit the update the first time. That was my mistake. So wheels and tires, 20-inch, tires all season. So everything's been done right. Now it's doing a reset to reset the system, reset our tire setting, and we will be good to go with the correct graphics. Our tire rotation is reset, and everything's good to go. All that's left to do is to pack up the winter wheels and get them in storage for the summer. So I'm gonna put the hubcaps back on. The hubcaps are not universal in the way they go on because there is a hole for the tire stem. So I'm gonna line this up here, putting the tire stem. Now, because of the way these things expand and snap in, it's easiest to snap the middle in first. So I'm gonna go line it all up, give a little tap with your wrist. Then the next thing is to push in the pointed corner first. So I'm gonna push in there and then the back. Push in the front and then the back. Push in the front, back, front, back, front, back. And now you're gonna go around seeing if you missed anything. And once it's all snapped in, you should hear no more snapping sounds. So now this is good to go. I just need to put on the tire totes, little tire bags, and I can roll it into storage. Those aren't necessary. You could store it like this, but we have the tire tote package, tire tote stuff, so I'm gonna use it for storage. Now we gotta put the wheels away, get them ready to be stored for summer. I got my little tire tote bag here from Tesla. There's Velcro. I'm gonna peel off the Velcro and I'm gonna Velcro it back on, but I'm gonna make it as loose, as big as possible. At this point, if you really want, you can make sure the Tesla logo is orientated in the way you want. So here it says Tesla, this is the bottom. So when I stack them, I'm gonna make sure the Tesla logo is facing the right direction. Now, I have it over the wheel, I'm gonna just roll it. And as I roll it, I am going to pull it over. And it is as easy as that. And you can roll it back and forth a little bit to try to get the black part of the middle of the wheel bag centered and get it to look as pretty as you'd like it to look. And now I have it all the way on. So at this point, I'm going to undo the Velcro that I had done before. I'm gonna loop it through this little Velcro latch here. And let's undo this, and then let's get it nice and tight here. So I got that, as tight as it doesn't have to be crazy tight. You loop it through the second one, and then you pull it tight. Now you got your two little scrunchies here. You pull that guy nice and snug, go to your other side, pull that guy nice and snug, and now you're done. You have it wrapped up. When you put the bottom down, you can do a little Tesla display, a little product placement if you'd like. And these bags have these nice little handy dandy tote grips So if you want to pick them up, I mean, wheels are heavy, but this helps you lift it and stack it and store it. That is it. So now I'm going to wheel it in the garage. You can stack it in a corner, bottom down. This helps prevent the scratching on the face because you're stacking, the wheels will be on the bag. You can stack them like that. You can stand them up and store them like this. You can do it on the ground. You can do it on a rack up in the air. But if you're gonna do it up in the air, make sure you have a properly load rated tire rack because these things are heavy. I'm not quite sure what the individual weight is, but these guys weigh a pretty penny. If you put it flimsily on a wall, it's just gonna break off and damage or hurt somebody. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you watching. Nothing in this video was sponsored. Everything are things that we purchased, so no sponsorships at all. I can show some of the tools if people are curious, either in the comments down below or maybe I'll throw them in the description. We'll see how things go. Please like and subscribe this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thank you. And make sure your jack is locked. And let's do this the other way.